Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have a special guest here today. I hope you all remember Alokya.
Hi, it's been a few years.
Yes, Alokya, did you know that you were my first guest ever?
Yes, I remember quite vividly.
Yes,
yeah.
2 years ago.
Yes, yeah, a lot has changed in 2 years, so it's good to be back. I will say, just to start out, so I do work for Procter & Gamble, and I'm saying that because we do sponsor the Puffs Kiss and Cry, Crest, Pantene, their brands, they're like in the arena and stuff, but like I'm not representing P&G. I don't make those decisions by any means. I'm a lowly chemical engineer for them, and I just started about this time last year. So yeah.
Excellent.
Just want to get that out there.
Okay, so today's video is going to be pretty exciting. We are going to be previewing the 2018 U.S. National Figure Skating Championships, giving our predictions. And I think we have some. We haven't discussed them with each other yet, so this will be fun. Which discipline do you want to start with?
Let's get the easy one out of the way. Let's do ice dance first.
Ice dance, yes.
I think that's the simplest
You know what?
one.
How easy is it going to be? Do you really think the Shiv Utanis have a lock on the gold medal?
Okay, so I think they have a lock on the gold medal, not necessarily because they're the best team, but because that's who USFS wants to win. And I'm saying that because I saw some random Pop Sugar article on them like a week ago. And
Pop Sugar?
Yeah, exactly. About how there's this like cute ice dance team that's like our best hope for like Olympic medals or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well if USFS is talking to Pop Sugar, I think it's sealed. And also what happened at the Grand Prix final kind of did it for me, where they had a huge mistake on Twizzles.
Yes.
And they
were last in the free dance.
Exactly, but they still managed to beat the other American teams.
Barely.
Barely, but they still managed to do it. So I don't know what it would have been like if they were clean. So to me, that seals it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that mistake on the Twizzle at the Grand Prix final will affect them at nationals? I mean, it could be in their head.
It could be. I don't know. I mean, this is one of the first. They're a pretty consistent team.
Yeah.
That I have to give them. So I mean, knowing them, they'll probably just shake it off and move on.
True, and they do usually skate really well at nationals.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to win too. I think it's going to be a small margin above Madison Hubble and Zachary Donahue.
Yeah, whom I think should win. But
yes, they are my team. This season, I love both of their programs.
I like their short better than their long.
Really? That's the first I've heard. Because I love both. Everyone only loves their long.
Okay,
or free dance.
I really, really love their short. I think there's like a lot of really good attitude. I like their free dance, but it's not, to me, it's not as good as the short. So,
great.
Yeah, that's me. And then Madison and Evan.
Not your favorite dance team.
Not my favorite
and
dance
I will
team.
say they were mine, not this season. For whatever reason, I don't know. I'm not seeing Madison sell it as much, or
I think she's selling it, but she doesn't have the support from Evan this season.
That's what it is. Actually, that's very true. And it's unfortunate because he's a good skater.
He's a good skater, and she's a good actor, but they're not meshing as well as they used to. So I was literally, before this, like I was watching a bunch of skating programs while I was cutting Christmas cake with my family, and my dad was watching it. He knows nothing about skating except Michelle Kwan because he loved her. But
the queen.
Yeah, but he was watching Maddie and Evan and was just going, so they're skating in place. They're not ice dancing.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's actually pretty accurate. Like, she's giving a lot of face when they're doing their random, in my opinion, kind of kitschy movements when they're standing in place, but that's kind of it. She's sort of overacting. He's not able to
They don't have a lot of ice coverage with either of their programs this year.
No.
And her edges still are pretty
still
flat.
Not good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it could have been redeemable if Evan had sort of stepped up. Because I don't think at this point Madison's skating skills are going to get any better. She's had 3 seasons of feedback to do that.
Yeah, they're plateauing as a team.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, unless Evan really gives it at nationals, I'm not seeing them anywhere other than third.
I agree. I mean, what's going to change with them right before nationals?
Right,
Not much at this point.
Yeah.
Any of the other dance teams you want to discuss?
I mean, I don't think so. Not
No?
off the top of my head. What about you?
No.
Yeah.
It's all about the medalists for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, and I'm not seeing Hawaii and Baker getting up there this year.
No, they had some Grand Prix assignments,
Yeah,
didn't they? And did not place too well.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to happen for them. Maybe the next squad. I could see it going really well.
I have a question. Do you think the Shibutanis will retire after the season?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, Alex is my age, I think. He's like 24, 25-ish. Maya's a few years younger than me. There's a lot left, especially considering how old Tess and Scott are. They're still doing fabulously. I think they're going to continue. But I do genuinely wonder what's going to happen to Maddie and Evan. Because if they haven't recognized it yet, I'm sure Igor has, that they're plateauing. So I think they might retire. And I don't know what will happen to Hubble and Donahue. Like, I'd love them to continue, but if they feel like they're not getting support from the Federation, they might just decide that, you know what, this is the best we're ever going to get. There's no point continuing. And that I'm a bit fearful for, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You want to choose the next discipline? You're choosing all of them.
No, you choose the next one. Yeah.
Okay, let's go with pairs.
Yeah.
Just because I think that's so difficult.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Alexa and Chris Knierim. I don't know. They don't. It's not a lock for them.
No. It was. That's the thing. It was like a year ago, and then everything that has happened since. They're no longer a lock. I think they're our most consistent pair team, although consistent is a relative term in U.S.
That is
pairs.
correct. That is correct.
I don't know. My comment is that they keep making it look very hard. They keep making what they do look very difficult, which is not what you want in a pairs team. And watch Aliona, and she does the most ridiculous things with a smile on her face, and it doesn't look like any effort. And that's not something they've achieved yet. I don't know if it's something they ever will achieve. But that's one thing I've noticed about Tara and Danny is that they seem to mask that better, how difficult it is, but at the same time they're not as consistent. So there's the balance. But I think it's more of a toss-up than it was a year ago, but my money is on Alexa and Chris.
I think they're the team with the highest scoring potential.
Yes.
Especially at that second mark, the program components.
Yeah.
Who do you think their biggest competitor is for the gold medal?
Tara and Danny.
Tara and Danny?
Yeah, I don't think Marissa and Mervin.
No, but Tara and Danny haven't had a Grand Prix this season, so I have a hard time.
That's true,
thinking of them.
But they didn't a few years ago either, and they still really delivered at nationals. And it could be that they're really good at skating in front of a U.S. crowd. But yeah, I'm relatively confident in them. What are your thoughts on Haven and Brandon?
I liked them before the World Figure Skating Championships last year. I think they have a lot to prove, not just to the fans, but also to the judges.
Yeah.
I thought they skated relatively clean at Skate America, but they were not rewarded the points.
Right.
I have no opinion on that. I think that, I respected the judges.
I mean, they're being punished for their inconsistency, is what it is. And, and it's something that our pairs just need to learn.
Yeah. If the side-by-side jumps were not an element, I think I would like Haven and Brandon a lot more. Yeah,
to be fair though, that's the case with
actually
that's all
that's
our
correct.
pairs.
That's correct.
That's the case with all our pairs.
If they're clean, I do really like them. I like their programs.
That's very true. That's very true. I do like their programs. What about Kane and Leduc?
Timothy Leduc and Ashley Kane.
Yeah.
I want to like them more than I actually do.
Yeah.
They've been given a lot of opportunities last season, this season. I think they have okay programs. They are both strong technical skaters, but they've just made so many errors. I think Ashley more than Tim, so I'm wondering if it's more in her head than in Tim's head when they're in competitions.
Yeah. Is she still doing her singles career?
I don't believe so.
Okay, thank God. That's just too much for one person.
Yes, that's a lot to handle.
Yeah, I think they could be really good, and maybe the next squad is their moment to step up. But I agree with you. I do feel like USFS is so desperate for a good pairs team that they've given them a million chances, and I feel like they just haven't stepped up to it. So yeah, I don't see it happening this year.
Yeah, I personally am rooting for Nathan Bartholomew and Deanna Stellato.
Yeah.
Did you hear that she came back as a parent? Okay.
Yeah,
I think that's a cool story.
It's a cool
She's
story.
older than me, so I'm like, wow.
This is true. It's a very, very cool story. I don't love them.
They
as a
still need a
couple.
gel.
Yeah. So I think maybe once they gel, like they'll be a joy to watch. I could definitely see that.
Did you see their programs? They're very ambitious in the technical elements.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going. I'm like,
it's not always working out, so it can look
yeah.
really messy.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And I mean, so at some point, it might have been a wiser choice to keep it a bit more simple and really focus on the relationship first, and then go together into the tougher parts. Yeah, that's
it kind of screams trying too hard to make the Olympic team too soon.
Yes.
Maybe focus on what you can do as a team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Figure out how to work together, figure out your relationship on the ice, figure out your relationship off ice, and then come with the good content.
Yeah. I have a question to ask you. Because the American pairs struggle with the side-by-side jumps, do you think that all of them should just do a side-by-side double axel in the free program at nationals, just so there's a clean program under their belt?
I mean, what difference will that make to international judges, though?
That's true. It's just going to please the fans.
Yeah, that's true. But to be fair, pairs is not the most well-attended event to begin with. So, also on a side note, they move men to prime time. Right?
Really?
This year? I think so.
I did not look at the schedule.
I think they move men to prime time and they move ladies to Sunday, and I was just like, wow, even they understand.
Wow.
I was really surprised when I heard that.
Actually, that's correct. I think with nationals, ladies is first, so it ends on the Friday in the long program.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and men are in prime time now. And I'm like, well, I mean, I agree. That's been the most exciting thing forever, but... what a message to send, I think.
Yeah.
So
the Olympic Selection Committee is gonna have a job with the pairs because just because, let's say someone wins because they have the highest, total score. Yeah. Just because they landed their elements at nationals doesn't mean they're gonna do it internationally.
But to be fair, it's not like anybody has landed it much internationally, so I think USFS might go, okay, it's a relatively even, terrible playing field internationally, let's just take the nationals results.
Okay.
But if they do end up taking the international more into account, I think it's not going to be fair.
Okay, so we did a lot of previewing. Do you want to do predictions?
I don't know what's going to happen apart from first. I think first will be Alexa and Chris, without a question. Beyond that, I don't know what will happen.
No, you think Tara and Danny will be second?
That's true. I think Tara and Danny will be second. I don't know what's going to happen after that.
I think Haven and Brandon will be second.
Yes. Okay, fair enough.
After that, I have no idea.
Yeah,
love Marissa and Mervin, but
I really wish they were the stronger halves of both of their former pairs. I really wish it could have come together in a way that it hasn't. I feel like they really could have been our top team, and the coaching situation and running around all over the place, and something about that couple just hasn't gelled yet.
Yeah.
I don't know that
going
it
from
will.
Boston to Montreal.
Yeah, just too much, I think, going on there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Next up, let's discuss men. How much have you seen of Nathan Chen?
All of it.
All of it?
Oh my god.
Yes!
All of it.
Woo!
So he's going to the Olympics. There's literally no question about that. It's a question of how much higher he's going to score than the rest of the U.S. men and whether he will win the Olympic medal against Hanyu, and that's my thought. So
if Hanyu is there.
If Hanyu is there. And I'm getting increasingly worried that he just won't be.
Yeah, and you're a big...
I'm a big Hanyu
fan, right?
Yeah, I mean, less than the rest of Japan, but that doesn't take much.
That is correct.
Yeah, and I've gotten more and more critical of him over the past few years because I really, at one point, I loved his artistry, and I feel like some of that has gone away a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
And honestly, I have to say the same for Nathan Chen. I mean, I love the man's artistry a few seasons ago, and it's not that it isn't there, but it's not as big a focus as it used to be.
Really? Because I think the short program
is wonderful.
Amazing.
The free skate is where I'm going.
Yeah, and maybe, did you see a Skate America free skate where there were all those mistakes?
Right.
So maybe that took away from the choreography, that competition.
But I also saw the Grand Prix final one, and I was just but you did really well there, and I wasn't getting in the program. Whereas Shimuna, I think he has everything. He has the artistry and the jumps. I mean, not as much as Nathan, but I think his artistry should compensate a little bit for not having 18 quads.
Yeah,
just a little
good
bit.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nathan Chen, I just question how hard he'll go for his free program and short.
Yeah.
I think he wants to practice getting all the difficult content out there.
Yeah, it's a practice run for him.
Although I do want him to be safe, so maybe you don't have to go all out.
I think that's his plan. He learned from when he injured himself practicing for the exhibition.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he really learned from that and took a lot away from it. I don't think he's going to make that mistake again. Not when, when the Olympic gold medal is on the line, and he's what, 18? He's really young.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he's that stupid. So I think it will be a practice run, but it's up to Raph at that point to say, where's the line? You know, do I want to practice the content, or do I want to, you know, just use this as a warm-up for the Olympics? Both are valid, depending on Nathan's condition, which we don't know as well as Raph does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the quad lutz is his money jump.
Yeah.
He's been struggling with the quad flip.
Yes.
I imagine he wants to get that out there.
Yeah, which I think is kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, could do a quad lutz, but not a quad flip. Okay.
And triple axel is another story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's going to want to get those out at nationals.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe he should focus on those and really get them solid under his feet, especially in front of an American crowd before going.
Excellent. So Nathan Chen is winning and going to the Olympics.
Yes, that's happening. The rest is a little more ambiguous. So I think Adam's going to come in second. Honestly.
Yeah, I think he's at least going to make the podium. That's what I'll say.
That's fair. Yeah.
Do you like his programs this season?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes.
Love his programs. And there's an air of confidence that I haven't seen before in him this season. It's very calm, very collected, but it's very him at the same time. I feel like it's him on the ice, not something somebody else is telling him he should be.
Yes, in the programs and in the jumps. The triple axel does not give him issues anymore.
No, not at all. He's so much more secure with it. And I mean, congratulations to him for getting the confidence on it. So for that, I'm very proud of him for what he has done. So
he's back at attempting the quad lutz.
Yeah.
I will support him in whatever he chooses to do.
Yeah.
Did you see the Skate America performance where he hit his shoulder
hard
and
popped
it back
into place, similar to Yukari Nakano
at
Skate America during the triple axel a few years ago. Yeah, literally the same exact thing. It's like, go.
Respect to him.
Yeah, seriously, that took guts, and it bothered him at the end of the program, but you wouldn't have known.
That's correct. Have you seen his interviews lately? He's really confident in making the Olympic team, and I think it's not too confident, but the perfect amount that you need.
Yeah, he's like, I am focused, I am ready, and I know it, but it's not rash overconfidence.
That's correct.
Which I think is a really good balance, as you were saying. So yeah, I have no doubt I think he's going to come in second. But the third spot is tough.
I think Jason Brown.
Okay.
Because he was at the World Figure Skating Championships.
That's true.
Last year and helped qualify 3 spots.
This is true, and he did decently at the Grand Prix final.
I'm glad he was there.
Yeah. So I have an issue with the short program.
Yeah, I haven't seen Hamilton, so I
did. I saw it in Chicago a few months ago. So, and I'm saying this because the Olympics is an international affair, and for a work training event, about a week after I'd seen Hamilton, we had a bunch of Germans, a bunch of people from everywhere from P&G come in for this training, and they were asking me what to do in Chicago. I was like, oh yeah, I was there last week. I saw Hamilton, and I was trying to explain to them. They didn't get it.
Okay.
Because it's an American musical. They just fundamentally didn't get it. And I was sitting there going, okay, well, Lin-Manuel Miranda is not going to need to make any money outside of the United States on this musical. He's making bank already. But it's not an international musical. This is not My Fair Lady. This is very American. And he picked a song from a musical that has no worldwide relevance, which I think is a problem, especially when you have a sung piece. And on top of that, I swear to God, he chose a really flat music cut for that particular song. Because I saw it in person, and I'm going to start with, it's not my favorite piece in that musical. I thought it was of all the pieces in there, I thought it was one of the more boring ones. But when you saw it in person, there was life to it as a result of the actors, and I don't see that life in that short program. So it's not international. I don't see the life in it. So I'm not a fan.
It's not a fan favorite.
It's not a fan favorite. I'm not a fan of the short.
Nice choreography as always. Sells it well. Shows off his skills, the flexibility.
Yeah.
But we're not connected to the program like his other ones.
He's not connected to the music, which I think is a real shame. Or maybe he is internally, but he's not conveying that, and I think part of his not being able to convey it is that it's just not going to be internationally received. But I mean, his free is It's nice. I expected more, if I'm being honest. After the last few free programs of the past years, you expect him to sort of grow, not necessarily do the same thing over again. And I feel like he just did the same thing over again. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with choosing the same style and choosing the same thing, but you need to add something to it for us to really enjoy it again. And I don't feel like he really did that this season. He didn't take it to another level. So I'm not as in love with the programs as I was in the past. And if we're being completely honest, that's how he got as far as he did without the quads. Is people loved the programs, and we don't have that this season. So that's what makes me worry that he will not come in third. I really want him to.
That's a good point.
Because I love him as a person.
Yeah, and then the quad has not been consistent.
No, not at all.
This season, and he has not been attempting it.
Yeah, or ever. Yeah, I don't
which
think
worries
it's ever
me.
been consistent. Yeah, so I mean, he can make it without a quad. He has proven that. But the audience has to be in love with his programs. That's not happening this season. So I struggle with him being on the Olympic team. But at the same time, I don't know that anybody else could do it. I mean, I think Vincent.
I was going to say Vincent Joe.
Maybe. If he pulls everything together at once, he's capable of doing that.
If he attempts 5 quads like he says he wants to in the free skate.
And I think maybe he just needs to wait another quad. I think maybe next quad is his time. I don't think the next quad will be a problem. I think he might have a couple issues getting onto the Olympic team this time. Max is Max. I don't know what to say about him. I mean, he pulled it together.
Max showed some promise this season.
He pulled it together on the Grand Prix. But I mean, the art. I think he finally understood that he's never going to be an artist.
Yeah.
And which I'm happy about, but I wish he had, after understanding that, I wish he had gone the route of, even if it's the old robot program that he did, the Tron program.
I actually like that program for him.
I did too. Everyone was, kvetching about it, and I'm like, I didn't hate it.
No, me neither.
And I hated Carbon.
I think I hated Phantom of the Opera.
And I really hated Phantom, because I'm like, you're not an artist. Admit that you're not an artist. Do something you like. Don't do something that
Lion
other
King
people
was
are telling
weird.
you to do. Oh, God.
Footloose was weird.
Yeah.
Ooh,
do something that's you. If you know you're not an artist, do something that you love, and ignore everybody that's telling you it's not a classic figure skating program. Fine. That's fine. You can be a good figure skater without doing the classic programs. That's doable. You just have to prove it. And I think it's just
Yeah, so. I do think we just mentioned the top 5. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the top 5.
Yeah, I don't think Grant Hochstein is going anywhere.
Oh, that's right. And it's his last season.
It's his last season.
Hopefully he skates a beautiful program.
Yes, I want him to end on a high note. I don't think he'll make the Olympic team, though. And then Alexei Krasnodon, what are your thoughts on him? I think next quad.
I don't know him.
Oh, I've seen him quite a bit in person.
Oh.
Yeah, he's has a very Russian dad. I really, really love his personality and who he is as a person. I think he's a little young. And by young, I mean maturity-wise.
Okay.
I think next squad might be a good time. I think he and Vincent might really take over the next squad.
Oh.
Yeah, and
I'll have to look him up tonight.
Yeah, and no news on Josh Ferris, right?
You know what? What is the formal news? But because it's been so quiet, I think
it's a no. Like that's I know it's a no, but it's more. Has there been any announcements on him? I feel like no.
I feel like he wanted his name to fall off the face of the earth.
Yeah, and just not. I mean, he might make an appearance at Nationals and say something. I feel like maybe that's what's going to happen. But I miss him. I have to say that. I wanted to see Give Me Love Again.
Oh,
that was going to be
that
his
short program?
That was going to be his short program.
Oh, I wanted to see that again too.
Oh my God, I would have killed. That would have been good.
I'm looking at the list of those who qualified. Sean Rabbit is always really entertaining.
Yes.
Can't wait to see him.
That is true. I wonder what's going to happen to Jordan Muller this season. I think he should hopefully place top 10. But I don't know what his career will be like after the squad. I don't know if he'll choose to continue or what.
And he's a very smart guy too.
Yeah,
so he could go to school.
Super intelligent. Wanted to I think he wanted to become a psychiatrist at some point, something like that. It involved having to take general chemistry, and then he decided that he hated general chemistry because I was offering to help him with it. Because this is back when I lived in Colorado, not Ohio. And yeah, he was just like, I can't do this class. Like, no, I've changed my career goals. I was like, okay, good for you. You recognized it. But yeah, he's a super smart, super bright guy. So I don't know what's gonna happen to him after the squad, but I will miss him.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye out for him at nationals.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, we are back, and we had to change locations because the hallway had a bunch of screaming kids. And we wanted to be respectful to the listeners, so we moved into a tiny little hallway.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
we are discussing the ladies.
Yes.
And then we are first going to discuss Gracie Gold, who will not be competing at the Nationals this year.
Yeah. So I am actually a bit worried about Gracie, just in general. So she is. I think she might just need to step back from the storm period, similar to Yulia. Because Yulia realized that skating was the reason behind her anxiety and her eating disorders. And let's be honest, Gracie is the same way. It's the reason behind it. And she may feel that she needs to go completely away from it for her to be able to resolve it in her mind. So that worries me. I'm not her big. I've never been a fan of her or her skating, but I think it would be a big loss to the sport. But I think it may be necessary for her and her own mental health. What are your thoughts?
Yes, she should do first and foremost what's best for her. I don't think she should come back unless she completely has that mental toughness that she needs.
Yes.
And I don't think she should come back unless she's in perfect competitive condition. It's not going to do anyone any favors, especially her if she's not in medal contention at Grand Prix events.
Yeah, it's going to mess with her head even more. She's no longer a gold medal contender, and then the old anxiety is going to come back. So I'm with you. I think that's what she needs
I follow
to do.
her on Twitter, and it sounds like she really wants to come back. But that could change.
I think that's her competitive nature. I mean, Yulia was the same way. I mean, she really.
no one wants to try to step away from
right,
the sport.
Exactly. Like this, it's a last resort, especially during an Olympic year when you and it took a lot of guts for her to do that. I think it took a lot of Marina for her to do that. You know, as Russian as Marina is, I think she's a really good influence on her students in terms of taking care of themselves. And so I think she probably led to some of these decisions. Either directly or indirectly. But
I will say I would love to see how Gracie does with the new team around her.
Yes.
Team being new coach, new choreographer.
Frank, yeah.
No more Lori Nickel.
No more Lori Nickel, no Frank. Yeah. Who do you think would be a good... I mean, Marina would probably choreograph at least one of the programs for her. But who would you like to see as another choreographer for her?
This is going to sound bad, but anybody but Lori.
Yeah.
I mean, she has fun with her exhibitions.
Yeah.
I think that's where she comes to life. So maybe like Shaylin Bourne who can do something fun.
I kind of want to see David Wilson.
Really?
Yeah, I think I want to see David Wilson.
I feel like David Wilson can be very hit or miss depending on the skater. True. And if it's a miss, it's going to be a bad miss.
But I mean, when you think about something like Kim Yuna, who had, you know, Gracie's big jumps and speed and all of that, that's something David Wilson can really work with really well. I loved Kim Yuna's programs that David Wilson gave her, especially the Lark Ascending. Oh my god. I still love and watch that program all the time. So I think she could do a lot he could do a lot with Gracie.
Good point.
Yeah. We'll see. So, but I mean, best of wishes to her.
Yes.
As she works through everything. It took a lot of guts for her to step away, especially this year when, you know, her entire life is building up to...
And to be so vocal about it.
That took guts. And that's commendable. So.
Okay, the ladies. I think everyone agrees that the American ladies have been a hot mess this season.
That's being kind.
Yes. What was up with our American ladies? Karen Chen, Ashley Wagner.
Let's be real. We've been a hot mess since Michelle left.
Kimmy Meisner.
Kimmy was
Alyssa.
awesome. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, literally everyone.
Okay, so I know it's tough to get started, but I think I have a prediction for the podium.
Okay.
Ashley Wagner, Brian Agasu, Brady Tennell. Not that order,
Okay.
but I think that's going to be the podium.
I think that's my podium too. Again, order. I think Mariah's gonna win personally, and yes, I love her as a human being. She's the most bubbly person on earth, and she has a lot of fun. And I really like that about her, that she can have so much fun in such a competitive sport.
She hasn't had that bad of a season.
No, she's had a great season. And I think it's because there's a level of confidence with her this season, similar to Adams, that I have not seen in her before. And, you know, she's very calm, very poised. She's no longer, like, apologizing for herself, probably because she hasn't needed to.
No, she hasn't.
She hasn't needed to apologize for herself, but she's done a lot of good stuff this season, and she's been very calm, very demure about it.
I think that triple axel gives her confidence.
I think so, yeah. You know, when I played the flute competitively for a long time, and on fast pieces, my flute teacher would always say, learn to play it 30% faster. Because then when you're competing and you're nervous, you know you have your fingers under you when you play it 30% faster. So that means you're going to have your fingers under you when it's 30% slower. And I think that's what's happening to Mariah. She has enough air, about 30 to 50% of the time, to get that extra half turn. And that means that she knows that she has enough air to complete the rest of her jumps. I'm not seeing nearly as much carrots or double carrots from her this season.
That is correct.
Yeah, and that used to be her biggest problem. That's why she didn't win the national title in 2010. So, yeah, so I think that's given her a lot of confidence. Considering the lineup at NHK, she did really, really well. My God, and she's not going to be on the Olympic podium, but I think she will very easily place top 10. And I think she has a chance at top 5. Honestly.
Yeah.
So
she would represent the United States well.
Very well. Yes, and she has in the past.
Yeah, and I think that this season she has the 2 best vehicles.
Yes.
To allow her to achieve her dream of making the Olympic team again.
Yes.
Both programs choreographed by Jeffrey Buttle.
Very
so
good. So good. Yeah. People need to go to him more.
Yes.
I've loved everything he's done. Literally every program he's done.
She's selling it more this season than I've seen her in the past 4, maybe?
Yes, and that's been my criticism of her, is that when the jumps are there, the artistry is not. And when the artistry is there, the jumps are not. With the one exception of the 2010 World Short Program, when both worlds
that was amazing.
Wonderfully collided. She was first after the short program, and it was because everything was there for her. And that's what's happening this season. I'm really happy to see that. You know, it is 8 years later, but that's how long it took for her to get it. That's how long it took for her to get it. She's like a few months older than I am, so I have a little bit of a soft spot in my heart for her. So
yeah, that's gonna be a large range, the longest gap between 2 gold medals.
Maybe about 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I think 2007, 2008.
I think I've said this a few times about Mariah, but I think I've said it's her year now to make, you know, to win the gold medal again at Nationals. I really feel like this is really
her year.
Her time to take the title back.
This is her year. If it doesn't happen this year, I don't know that it will happen again.
Yes, my girl Ashley Wagner hopes to win the national title again. She has a lot of hoops to jump through to win that gold medal. It's not going to be easy. She's going to have to put in the best work she's done in a long while because her season was very lackluster. Granted, I know she had an ankle infection in Skate America. Skate Canada was, she won a medal, but she needed to send a bouquet of flowers to Anna Bogorlaya.
Yeah.
I will say I'm interested to see how the new free program to La La Land will play out because Moulin Rouge did not have the same effect at Skate Canada. Love that program, not for the 3rd season. No.
And honestly, it irritates me that, because I think it has affected other people using Moulin Rouge. I don't think anybody can use that music now for another 5 years. And I think Virtue and Moore want to, send her like a box of dead snakes or something for after saying she was doing La La Land right before Champs Camp going, I'm going back to Moulin Rouge, and they're probably like, oh my god, you have got to be kidding me, we want to go for the Olympic title again.
At least the music cuts are different.
Yeah,
right?
At least the music cuts are different, but it's still Moulin Rouge. And I don't think anybody can skate to it now for like 5 years. Generally, we need to cleanse the memory. We just need to cleanse the memory of it. And it's really unfortunate that it ended up that way. So, I'm not a fan of the music in La La Land. I don't know what music cut she's going to do. I'm just not a fan of the musical.
Yeah, I don't think I know the cuts either. Maybe some of Audition.
I don't think anybody knows the cuts. No one's heard it, right?
That's right.
Yeah, no one's heard it, so nobody knows. Yeah, nobody knows the cuts. I'm not a fan of the music. At least it'll be different, which is more than I can say of anything really she's done the past few years.
Yeah.
So it'll be different. But I mean, she will have trained it for 2 months prior to nationals, and she would have maybe trained it for a month before that. Because it would have been like a month before Chance Camp, around when she got it. Well, maybe a little bit before that. But regardless, she'd been training it for 4 months max. That's an issue. So
yeah,
I'm a bit worried for her.
At least it's not like a brand new program.
At least, yeah. But it might as well be.
Yeah,
to me, it might as well be. She's never competed with it. So I think that's boring. And even if she does make the Olympic team, then first time she's competing internationally with it is the Olympics. That's not necessarily a great place to be. So I think she gambled and she lost this year with her free skate. We don't
know that yet, though.
That's true. And although I think she will end up in top 3, it wouldn't shock me if she ended up 4th and the Olympic year curse happens to her again. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, how can she avoid remembering what happened in 2014? That's all the reporters are going to ask about.
And 2010.
And 2010. Oh, don't remind me. At least she was 3rd in 2010, but still, this Olympic team.
Yeah.
With Ashley, I'm most concerned about her jumps. We all know that she can sell a program. She's going to get pretty well program component marks from the judges if she's relatively clean.
Yeah.
Ooh, the jumps just haven't been there all season.
No.
Even at Skate Canada.
No.
But she will need a triple flip, triple toe. She can't screw up triple loop, half loop, triple sow cow.
Does she need it at U.S. Nationals? Genuine question. I think she needs it
if she
at
wants
the
to
Olympics.
win against Brady Tennell.
True, but if she wants to make the team, I don't think she needs it.
That is true. Yeah. I think she'll need it in the short. The long, maybe.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. But she knows the short like the back of her hand.
That is
so
true.
That's not an issue. If she has a strong short, she might be okay with that. With the
I think she could. I think she could win. I'm sensing a silver, maybe a bronze. It's been a tough season for her.
Yeah. I don't think she's going to win the title. I think that's pretty much in place with Mariah. Now Brady is interesting.
Brady Tennell. She impressed everybody at Skate America.
I haven't seen her in person before.
You have?
Yeah, and she's improved with her confidence since I last saw her in person, which is really good to see. And some of the braids going on with her hair is reminding me a little bit too much of Paulina in 2014. I will say that, and I say that because I think she's in the same position Paulina was in, where I think she's going to be. I mean, she won't be surprised anymore because she had Grand Prix, but she's the surprise Olympic spot. I like that she's confident. I'm also glad she's only talking about herself.
Yes.
She's not talking about other people internationally, because that was, I think, Paulina's problem. When she made the Olympic team in 2014, she was going, I'm as good as every other international lady, and everyone is sitting there going, really? Up against Carolina?
Very, very confident. I watched her press conferences at the 2014 Nationals in Boston.
Yeah, and it was confident, but it was overconfident.
Yes.
I mean, at some point, you have to be respectful. You can't say, I'm better than... I mean, she wasn't saying it directly, but the implication was, I'm better than Carolina Kostner, I'm better than Mao Asada, I'm better than Kim Yuna. There was no... it was a case of, no, you're not better than them. And the sooner you get that through your head, the better. But she just never lost that, and I think it ended up hurting her in the long run. So, that's an issue. But anyway, Brady. Yeah, I think she's gonna make the Olympic team, and it'll be a good experience, and I think it'll be good exposure for her, just for herself and for her career internationally. Because I think if she remains consistent, and we need to be careful that we're not crowning her the new queen of the U.S. skating. Let's not do that. But I think she has a decent chance if she stays as consistent as she has been her entire career of having a good, ladies' career. And for that, if that's the case, it's good to get her out there on the Olympic, arena and have her experience what it's like, so that perhaps in a few years she really could go for it.
So, I would say, even though I think Brady will be in the top 3 at U.S. Nationals, I'm not sure that will get her to the Olympics.
That's fair.
Yeah,
because
there's not a lot of body of work. Yeah. Yes, did not make the Grand Prix final. Was impressive at Skate America. Granted, that's one competition, although she did score well there, as well as at her senior B competition earlier this season. What I like about Brady is that she does not under-rotate her jumps. So she's on. And she doesn't do transitions for the sake of doing transitions. When you watch her programs, it feels like the jumps are part of the program, which is really, really not something I sense anymore from many programs. It's the reason I love the French ice dance team, because I feel like every element they do is the program. It's not an element for the sake of doing an element. And I feel the same way with a lot of Brady's programs. Yeah.
So, which is probably why her score was so high at Skate America, and it was an American competition.
And everyone's comparing her to Paulina. They're in the same position, but they had different experiences.
Yeah.
Tanel had a senior B and a Grand Prix, whereas Paulina was a junior internationally that season.
Yes.
Also, Brady put up a pretty good score at Skate America, 67.
Yes.
And if I remember correctly, Paulina Edmonds' score for the short program at the Olympics was a 61. She was not happy about that, and she was clean. So I do think Brady has more potential than Paulina early on. That excites me.
Yes, which is good to see. So we really need to discuss all these ladies.
Yeah, Karen Chen, reigning U.S. champion.
God, she's not good.
She was 4th at the last World Figure Skating Championships.
She is the death. Okay, so all of...
Not impressed this season.
No. All of... oh my God, what's the name of her coach? I can't...
Tammy?
All of Tammy's kids are like this. They are all hot messes. Ricky Dornbush was like this. She's like this. Every single person...
I think she coached Vincent for a little bit, too.
Yeah, she did. I'm just going... all of these children are hot messes. And literally 100% of them. And Karen's no different. And yeah, she did save the U.S. During the Worlds last year. She's the reason we got 3 Olympic spots.
Yeah. You could also be a different skater a year later.
Yeah, exactly. And she was never consistent before that. She just pulled out performances when she needed to. And perhaps she will here too, but I'm not counting on it. So
I mean, the reigning U.S. national champion shouldn't be 8th and 9th at the Grand Prix assignments. No. And they shouldn't be changing their program so many times.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not helping.
Short or long. And
yeah.
Is she having boob problems again?
Of course she is. Everyone's having boob problems.
Yeah. The stars are not aligned for Karen Chen.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if she's off the podium, I don't think the U.S. will send her to the Olympics just because she was 4th at Worlds last year.
They'll send her to 4 continents, I think. Because this year's 4 continents is going to be the strange... weird competition where we have weird winners because it's too close to the Olympics. Yeah. So they'll probably send her to 4 continents. But speaking of 4 continents, I think that's where Mariah's going to end up. Mariah Bell,
who I think if the Olympics were last year, I feel like she would have been set.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on her this season?
I think she's regressed. I think she showed so much promise in the past, and not just last year, but leading up to last year.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but the switch over to Rafael Arantunian is not paying off yet. And I say yet because I don't think she's done. This just isn't her season.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to land your triple lutz, triple toe.
Yeah, and let's to be fair to Mariah, let's be real, Raph is otherwise occupied.
That is true. And that's just, it is
what it is. I mean, Nathan is his first priority, and honestly, Adam is probably his number 2 priority after Nathan. there's good reasons for that.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to most likely place first and second in men's.
Yeah.
But Ashley is not a priority for, honestly, probably good reasons for that. But Mariah really isn't a priority. So I think the switch from Corey to Raph was necessary. I saw in person how Corey trains and how Mariah trained under her. And while I really do genuinely like how Corey trains her kids...
Isn't she very positive?
She's very positive, but not too much.
Okay.
But but there are a couple things about it that I think if you aren't as driven as Jason Brown. I mean, Jason Brown is such a driven guy. If you're not as driven as him, if you're not as internally driven, it's going to not help you in the long run. So, for instance, there was this one time, like right before Nationals when I went, that Mariah was doing her long. Yeah, she was doing her long as like an exhibition to the crowd, like the bunch of parents or whatever. And she fell on her first jump, and she went over to Corey and said, "Can I do a redo in 5 minutes?" And Corey allowed that. And I'm going, "No, you need to learn how to get up, shake that off, and move on." So I think even just for that, and also just to see Nathan and Adam and Ashley every day, I think that's also given her motivation, because in Corey's rink, she was the only top lady. Literally the only top lady.
No, that's true.
And the other two were Jason and, the other two were Jason and Jordan. And so really it was just Jason. Yeah, so I think it was a good switch. I'm glad she left Colorado. Having lived there, it's very tough to leave. I had a very tough time moving to Ohio, even though I got my lovely job at
Is it because it's so beautiful?
It's very beautiful, so much hiking, just the people are lovely. I really enjoyed it, and I felt sad having to leave. So I'm glad that it took guts for her to leave, because she's from Westminster, which is a lot further north than Colorado Springs, but it's still in Colorado. And I know she didn't want to leave Colorado, which is why she moved to Corey in the first place from her old coaches. So I'm glad she left. But, yeah.
So Mariah, I expect the top 6. If she's top 3, she could get sent to the Olympics because she was at Worlds. Granted, she placed 13th. I mean, at least she was there.
Yeah. The other thing with her is I think she needs a new choreographer.
Who's her choreographer now?
It's Raheen.
Raheen?
Yeah,
okay.
And so my problem is I don't feel like what she has fits her personality. She's a really bubbly girl.
Is that short program still
It's still Chicago, yeah.
Okay.
And her smile through it is her natural bubbly smile. It's not the sexy Chicago smile that you're expecting. And same with West Side Story for her free. It's not the sexy West Side Story smile you're expecting. It's the very bubbly, very Mariah smile. Now, the very bubbly, very Mariah smile works in context, and it's not in context in these programs. So her face isn't doing her choreography justice, and to be honest, I don't think her choreography is doing her justice this season either. So
is Raheen choosing the music, or is she?
I think they sort of do.
Either way, that she needs a new choreographer.
I think she needs a new choreographer. That said, I don't know who to suggest, not with Lori Nickel. Because I think Lori is just too overloaded and her creative genius is sort of plateaued a little bit.
Yeah. Who's American that could do it?
Jeff Buttle isn't American.
But he's doing it for Americans.
He's doing it for Americans. I think Jeff could be at least a start. At least he's fresh. And part of the reason why I think sometimes Raheen works as well as he does is because he's always in the rink criticizing choreography at Corey's camp. That's how Jason had good programs in previous years, is because Raheen was on it going, no, your arm needs to go like this, your leg needs to have this.
He's very particular.
Very, very picky, and in a good way. She doesn't have that. And I think Raheen's choreography requires that level of, and sometimes Raheen needs to tweak. He's new at this too. He needs to tweak it, and he isn't able to do that as much when she's in California. So, yeah, not her season. I think she'll get sent to 4 continents, which is okay.
Yeah.
At least it's something.
I think the next quad could be hers.
She
sticks around.
It could be. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, other medal contenders. Why am I going blank in silence? We have the list of qualifiers here.
Yeah.
I'd say the other closest bet would be Courtney Hicks.
Yeah. I love her to death.
You do?
As a person. So
I feel like I should be whispering this, but I'm not going to. Have you heard about her on Twitter?
No.
Okay, I'll tell you off camera, but
okay.
You know, I will try to keep Courtney's personal life separate from the skating.
Okay.
And the skating is she has some really big jumps.
Yes.
Sometimes too big. It seems like it's still the case.
I feel like she's not in control over what she's doing. Like she's really.
You mean like
really
she's not
strong.
choosing her programs?
No. I mean she's not when she's in the air. She's not in control of what's happening.
Oh, that's true.
Because I feel like her takeoffs are so wild, and part of that is because she has so much muscle, and perhaps she just built it up too much too fast to the point where she wasn't able to control it as it was increasing. And so now the result is I feel like she like flings herself in the air, and whatever the hell happens in the air, and she tries to land. I feel like that's what's happening with her, and yeah, I love her. I've met her a lot, probably more than most other skaters actually. I've met her a lot in person. I really like her personality and who she is. But yeah.
I will say I don't think she's going to the Olympics.
No, she's not.
Even if she places second here.
Yeah, I don't think she's going. I think she will go to four continents. And yeah, I don't think she's going to end up at Worlds either for the same reason. She's a bit hot and cold. So yeah.
Programs are nice. I feel like they always are. Maybe the programs aren't the issue.
Yeah.
It's her jumps.
I think it's the jumps takeoffs.
And she has a new coaching team. I'm surprised I'm not seeing more change in her raw skating.
Yeah. Well, it's old habits die hard. I mean, Caroline Zhang had this problem, right, when she switched to get rid of that ridiculous kick.
Is that gone?
Well, she broke her leg.
Yeah.
Has she competed since? I mean...
Yes.
Okay, I've not been following Caroline.
I think she did Challenge Cup. Correct me if I'm wrong.
How did it look?
Her program or the kick?
Both.
Program's fine. It's the same as she's always done.
Right.
You know, she's not going to reinvent herself.
Lovely, kind of boring. Okay.
Slow, no transitions.
Yeah.
Landing the jumps though, so it's like,
well, that's
cool.
better. That's better than
the
before.
kick. I think is better.
Well, you know, when you break your leg, you do reevaluate things like that a little bit more seriously. So,
Caroline Zhang, I think, will be a good one to watch here. That triple loop. I feel like I want to strangle the judges when they call that under. It looks good a lot of the times. Yeah.
There's some bias there, I would agree.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at this. I feel like we're missing a few key players this year.
Yeah,
Gracie's out. Paulina Edmonds is
What's going on with her? I don't know what's going on.
So,
she has a bye because she made the Olympic team, but...
Yeah, she was not at Nationals last year.
No, she wasn't. Yeah.
And she had one Grand Prix and was, if I may say so myself, not good.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Yeah. I did not subject my parents to watching her.
I think for short programs like a triple sow cow and a triple toe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no.
No.
That's not happening. I think she could have better luck if she left Rudy.
I believe so too. But I think she likes staying in her hometown of San Jose because that's where she goes to college too, so...
But that's an issue. I mean, you need, part of growing sometimes, as probably as a skater, is growing as a person. I mean, I grew so much as a person when... I mean, Colorado is relatively close to Washington. I grew a lot as a person, and that translated to professionally when I moved to Ohio on my own. And I think Gracie discovered that when she moved to Michigan without her family. And I think maybe Paulina needs that kick too.
I don't think it's going to happen. She seems to be enjoying college life a lot.
Right.
Based on her Instagram. And then let's talk about some of the other girls here.
Yeah.
Because Tessa Hong beautiful skater, but I felt like she was supposed to make her mark or a big splash last season.
She
or the
really
season
was.
before.
Well, that's what Tom Zakrajczyk back when she was with him was aiming for.
But she's not with him anymore?
No, like he was like, this is like the next Michelle Guan, like, and I've met her mother. Her mother was super convinced that she was going to be the next Michelle Guan.
Oh boy, oh no.
Well, the thing is, I think Tessa could be.
Mm-hmm.
She really could be the next Michelle Kwan, but I think Tom threw her off track, and now she's trying to get back on track, and now the artistry is there, but she's losing the jumps. Again, the smile and the program are not going together. Like, she needs to be more in context with her program instead of just trying to be a pretty person while skating a pretty program. Like, there's some work that needs to be done there.
Mm-hmm. I will say I'm going to be excited to see Star Andrews.
Okay.
Do you know about her?
No.
Okay. I think she's very exciting to watch, up and coming. Love her programs.
Okay.
She attempts a triple axel.
Yeah.
They're not as
Consistent.
clean as Mariah's. She'll stay on her feet, but it's like beyond 2 carats under.
This is not Midori Ito or Malasada.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm like, but I'm just like, kudos for going for it. Yeah.
All right.
Amber Glenn is someone who I see compete a lot. I'm not a fan of hers. She hasn't proven herself to me despite her exposure.
I like her in person.
You do in person?
Yeah, I've seen her quite a bit in person because she came to the aerial jump competition or whatever at Broadmoor a few times. I actually really like her, but as you said, she hasn't proven herself, which is, I think, really unfortunate. Again, I think she needs to leave the Canes as a coaching team for that to happen. Where she could go, I don't know. But I think she just needs to leave Texas.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. All right.
We did it.
Yeah.
Will you be watching U.S. Nationals?
Yes. Yeah. It should be, what week is it? Week of the 15th?
No, the weekend before that.
Yeah, the weekend before that. Yeah, I'll definitely be watching. I'll be back in Ohio by then, so that'll be good. I'll get to snuggle up in my bed with...
Yeah. I'm not sure if I can watch. I'll be packing for Boston that weekend.
That'll be nice.
People will be texting me the results though.
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna not touch my work laptop all day. Lately, I've been watching skating while getting a ton of work done. So I'm gonna not touch my laptop this time because I'm genuinely excited for this U.S. Nationals in a way that I haven't been for a few seasons. I decided not to go in person this year. I was seriously considering it, but then I'm like, okay, this is not worth it. Yeah. Which is an unfortunate thing to say of your own nationals, but
why would you say that you're more excited for nationals this year? Because the ladies have been a hot mess.
Well, I think it's because they've been a hot mess. It'll be interesting.
Oh, really? Oh.
Seriously. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going to happen. And
that makes it interesting to watch.
Exactly. I mean, similar to, a football or a soccer game where you've got 2 super good or super bad teams and you don't know what's going to happen. The unpredictability brings ratings in. That to me is, what's going to happen with senior ladies. And with senior men, I'll be interested to see what happens with spot number 3. With pairs, God knows what on earth will happen. Not that 90% of it will matter, but I'll be interested to see what happens with respect to that pipeline. Because I think we have a pipeline issue. We've had a pipeline issue with pairs since the 80s, but I think we really have a pipeline issue now with pairs more than we have even in the past. And with ice dance, I want to see what politicking is going to win.
I hope Madison Hubble is not angry with the silver medal. She's really tough on herself at competitions.
She's going to be.
It's like, honey, it's okay to be second to Tessa and Scott.
The thing is, I think they are as good as Tessa and Scott. And I know I'm going to get flack for saying
no, they're really strong.
They're as good as Tessa and Scott.
Nicole has me watching everyone's edges with ice dance, and Madison has some really deep edges.
She has some of the best edges. She has better edges than Tessa.
Yeah. Strong legs,
really strong legs. I think in that sense, Zach sort of lets her down a little bit because he doesn't carry Madison as much, but yeah, you're right. She's really tough on herself. I think they're as good as a Virtual and Moyer, and they should be competing for spot number 2. I think the French are a class unto themselves, but I think they should be competing for the second spot in the Olympics, and it's unfortunate that it won't happen that way. And back to why I think that's why I'm so afraid they're going to retire, because they don't see a future for themselves. Or maybe they could switch to competing for Israel. I mean,
that was an option.
Or Lithuania.
There's your national title.
Yeah, there's your national title. Now go politic as
Oh, so funny. Well, thank you so much for being on my video. It's time to get some dinner, right?
Yeah, it's time to get some dinner.
All right, thank you everyone for watching. You'll see a few more videos coming up from me later this week. Catch you later. Goodbye.
Bye.